What's going on, guys? What's happening? Let me move this down here. Don't need that. Let me just check this right here, my audio. Make sure this is working just fine. Did some recording earlier, so I want to make sure this is right for you guys. Seems to be all right. All right. Mr. Gossamer, hey. Renee Cruz, hi. What's going on, everyone? Pat Sequin, hi. What's going on? Stan Bradley, hello. Salutations, greetings and salutations. Kyle J, morning, Chris. Greetings from Australia. Well, good morning to you. At least there it is. Here it's 7:03 p.m. Eastern Time. James Craigs, yeah. Hi, Chris. Just checking in with you, and hope you are well. Looking forward to a great night. Yeah, I'm the same way. Let me see if I can get this just a little bit better here. Let's do this. I'm not seeing the camera's not as clear as it should be. We can straighten that right out. See if we can clear that up just a little bit. Yeah, it seems a little better. What do you guys think? That working all right? All right. All right. Yeah, it's looking a little blurry on my end. It looks fine now. Mark H from Australia. Good morning to you. Pete's Vlogs. What's up, player? What's going on there, brother? Good to see you in there. Ricardo Torado. Hi there, bro. Good evening. Good evening to you. Photograph Light and Magic. Hi, Chris. Love your latest video. Well, I appreciate that, man. It was pretty awesome, wasn't it? And I know I've told you guys a lot of people have been it's been cropping up on Facebook. It's the real Jimmy Roberts has done it, which he did a great job, and he had that interview he did with that other gentleman. And every now and then these photos crop back up. This is about 3-year-old video from NASA, and they crop up every now and then. People see them and go, "Oh my God, they're so excited," because they think it's like a new find type thing. But it's not. I've done a video on it a while back. And but sometimes you go back with fresh eyes and you see something much better. You just go, wow, I didn't even notice this last time. So yeah, pretty cool. Hello from vacationing Philippines. Oh, must be nice. I'll be vacationing next week, guys, which reminds me I will not be doing a live feed next Sunday because I will not be here. But we're going to try to get a good 2 or 3 videos out for you this week. I can still do it remotely, like just post them or whatever. And I can do that. But as far as the next Hangout, probably won't be doing that. I hope you guys understand. Don't shoot me. Mark H, give him the thumbs up. Thumbs up, man. Always appreciated. You guys know that. Anthony Johnson, hello from Virginia. Well, what's going on? Neighbors over here in West Virginia. Frank Kama, happy Sunday with you, Chris. With Chris. Yeah, it's all good. Team Extraterrestrial Aliens and UFOs, baby in the house. Oh, yeah. Pat Sequin, the latest video was your most compelling yet. Well, that's what I tell everybody, too. Here's the deal. You can, let's say we cover, I'm going to say 10 things in the video. It doesn't matter what video, any video. And we cover it, and there's only one thing you go, it kind of looks like what he's saying, or it does. It really pops out for you guys. That's all you need to know. Because even then, your brain's going, how do I wrap myself around this? And why is it on Mars? How do I get my brain to wrap around that? And that's the crazy part, right? And that's what I was going through when I first started looking at these videos, or these photos, rather, way back in the day. McDonald's, sweet tea. Love their sweet tea for some reason. But it was... When I looked at it, I just said, there's no way this stuff's here. There's no way. Because, again, we've been taught what? Cold, barren planet, nothing there to see, no water, no nothing, which is all completely turned around now. If you go back 10 years ago, none of that stuff would have been emitted. Now, so much, now that's really emitting a lot to this stuff, right? Tommy Wiley, what's going on there, brother? Good to see you in there. Everything is well here. Hope everything is good with you as well. Scott Gamble, this is turning into an exceptional chat. Let's do it again. We do it every Sunday if we can. And like I said, I'm thinking about just moving this maybe an hour earlier. So all you folks around the world, around over the big pond there, it'll be a little easy for you guys because I know, like I said, I got to work in the morning as well. So it's not exactly easy for some people. Now, if you live on the West Coast of the United States, where you're just like, please. It's only like 4 o'clock here. 4 or 5 o'clock. It's like, we're just chilling. Hello from Easton, Tennessee. Jason T. Green. What's going on? Good to have you in there. Bugs Bunny. Hey, awesome. Love your channel. Has really opened my eyes. Well, I appreciate that. Like I said, we just grab these things, look at the photos, and just go, hey, is this normal? Is this natural? If not, what is it? That's basically in a nutshell, right? John Fioravanti. Chris, is JPL doing all of the obfuscations? Well, they do have a CGI department, right? In fact, I say this every now and then. There was some years back, I'm going to guess it was probably between 4 and 6 years ago, they had laid off like 250 of them. I'm thinking to myself, how big is this darn department, right? I mean, what's going on there? And the bigger question is, why do you have a need to have a CGI department at all? Right? Think about that. It's crazy, right? But nonetheless, I mean, sometimes they say, well, we try to make it aesthetically looking better, for the public. And yeah, as you can see they're really doing a great job of that, covering the stuff up. And I understand to a certain degree why they do it, but, come on. I think a lot of people, like we discussed before, we can handle the truth. I think everybody's on board with that. They'd be like, but I think it goes much deeper than that, right? I think it's got to do with, anything from social breakdown, religion, so on and so forth. Because the implications would be just like, wow, right? So I was watching this older movie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. In fact, let me see if I can't find this thing for you guys. It's actually pretty cool. It's called Red Planet Mars, 1952. And I believe it's on Keith Laney's page. He puts on there, Brookings initiated in 1952. Watch this movie. And when you watch this thing, it's crazy because, and I've seen this before. It's basically there's a scientist trying to communicate literally through radio waves. And I think at one point they're using some kind of laser or some kind of, it's sending information or something like that. And come to find out, they are actually talking back with them. At first, they're just getting their own messages back that they send. And then next thing you know, they're literally, they trick them up and they say, well, what's the actual root, pi? If you go, well, pi, and what do you mean pi? So it's like, whatever the numbers is. And so they do the equation. They just put like 5, maybe 6 numbers. And then all of a sudden they message Earth back and they actually fill in the rest of the numbers. And so then they know, okay, so clearly it is them answering back. So pretty cool. But that's what it's called. Red Planet Mars, 1950. 1952. It's pretty cool. You guys got to check that out. And it's on YouTube, so you can definitely check it out. Pretty cool. George Powell, he said, Chris, I just ordered 2 different magnifying glasses. Good for you, because I'm going to tell you what, they're going to come in hand big time. Yeah, Renee, yeah, it was down there too. Yep. That's how I seen it the last time. Of course, it was several years ago I saw it, but Red Planet Mars, 1952, sci-fi movie on Comet TV. Yes, indeed. Skywatcher footage. We are so lied to. Yeah, that's a fact. And again, it's like when you start seeing these footage, at first you go, I don't believe that they're lying to us. There's no way, right? So a buddy of mine said this to me one time. In fact, he doesn't look at any of these videos. He's not into any kind of conspiracies or anything like that. He says, I showed it to him one time. He says, he said, dude, there's nothing on the planet. I mean, it's all over the news. It's just, it's a red planet, just dusty, so on and so forth. And I said, well, let me show you this other photo I got here. And he says, what's that? And he looks at it. He goes, what is that little piece there? And what's this? And what's that? I said, exactly. I said, you know what it is? He goes, no. I said, it's a picture of Mars. And he goes, there's no way that's Mars. I said, it absolutely is, man. And crazy. He just couldn't believe it. He was just like, no way. And he still insinuated that I was lying to him. I'm saying, dude, I'm not lying to you. I can show you where to get the photo and everything. It's right there from NASA JPL. So yeah. Rumble Foreskin. Hi, Chris. What do you think about Bob Lazar? I get this question asked a lot. I don't know why everybody. I've seen this too. I don't know what video I was watching, and I'm trying to remember what it was. And somebody had commented saying, "Oh, Bob Lazar is a liar, or he's an ass, or whatever the hell he said." Right? You can check this guy's credentials out, man. He's not a liar. He's not a fake. I mean, the guy's as real as can be, man. And one of the videos I was watching is old one too. He was young, and had him. I told you about. He has a Corvette. And it's running on hydrogen, and he's got like these 4 good-sized tanks on the back of the hatch of the vet. And I'm guessing the vet's probably an 87, mid 80s, maybe upper 80s. And he basically did it all, put it all together himself, and did all that. So the guy's an engineer. The guy was, he's not lying. He was from, worked at Area 51, did all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I guess you could pick him apart and see if you can try to find any lies in it. But, like I said, everything I've ever seen him, he doesn't look like he's lying. He just looks genuine. And some of the stuff I've seen him do other than talk about Area 51 and his work there. I mean, like I said, that car video, totally not even the same subject. And, he was talking about it and highly technical and everything else. So, yeah, I mean, I think the guy's spot on, to be truthful with you. I think he's telling the absolute truth. I noticed that you saw that U-shaped structure in your Mars video. I want to say that those U-shaped are also all over the moon, and yeah, they have been. I've been seeing that too. I mean, it's kind of tough to see them here and there, but sometimes you're not looking at that. You're looking at the smaller details. You're not looking at the larger ones. So yeah, so it kind of fools you. You're like, and you don't really see it right away, right? But sometimes if you just take your time with a photo, you can see all the smaller things, and then you see the larger stuff. That's when you start seeing, all of the details. Yeah, Renee. Yeah, exactly. Bob Lazar, Area 51, and Flying Saucers, where they tried to basically clone them. They were taking these things and they were cloning them, and they're trying to actually make literally a copy of it. So I would imagine it took a little bit of time to, first off, try to find out what these things were, right? Excuse me. I can't imagine it's easy. Once you take these and dismantle these things, you're trying to figure out what the hell these things do. What are these gadgets? What are they called? And then they broke it down, right? And then of course they say, okay, we understand what these objects or these things, these components do. Now we're going to implement them. Now we're going to put them on our own and see if we can't build our own and get it to do the same. And then if you can do that, then guess what? You can put it into any shape, craft that you want, and there you go. Spring will come soon. We're past that, but you put on there, Bob Lazar is good and straight man. No lies ever said about UFO and Area 51. Well, and I feel the same way. I've never seen him lie about any of that stuff. Now, I obviously don't hang out with him. Does he embellish a little bit here and there? Maybe, but I don't think he's lying about anything. No. Eddie the Eagle has landed. Hello, what's going on? Good to see you in there, man. Bob knows where all of the bathrooms are in Area 51 floor. Georgia Knapp corroborates Bob's stories from his Area 51 coworkers working there. Yep. I mean, and people who, know him personally, right? They just said, yeah, I mean, the guy's the real deal. I mean, I don't know why anybody would question him, but, let's see. He should own a DeLorean. Well, yeah, he should. Pretty cool little cars, right? J.A. Tony Clark. Yes, Chris gets better all the time, and he looks. It just jumped up on me, so sorry about that. All the time, and looks into things. The more he can see, and so can we. Well, yeah, I mean, I believe in just really ripping apart a photo, right? And I told you guys before, I was totally honest with you. If there's nothing in the photo to see, or I just can't seem to bring it out, there's no point. And sometimes I get frustrated because I know there's something there, but I can't bring it out good enough to actually convey it to you guys. So there's no point. I just go the hell with it. You know what I mean? It's just because even if I can say, okay, I see it, but I can't quite bring it out, then there's no point. It just really. Nikola Tesla, free energy. Indeed, he was trying to transmit it and everything. In fact, I just seen an article. Was it that main tower? Didn't that thing just fall? It was on one of the. Trying to remember what page that was on, but they were literally talking about somehow the thing had come down. Because keep in mind, it was all wood, right? So, and this is how many years ago? Yeah. Timmy Lassie, you put on there. I've always believed Bob Lazar. It's good to see him getting at least a little respect. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think people question him because they're going, "How come he hasn't been bumped off yet?" I mean, think about it. I mean, it's kind of like, because he's letting out this information, right? So maybe that's the reason why they don't believe him. They're saying, well, if he worked for them, chances I had a gag order. Why hasn't he been bumped off yet? Well, they're probably so past that now, meaning because people see them they're seeing UFOs in the sky, they're seeing them everywhere, all kinds of strange occurrences in the sky. And they probably just go, just let him go, man. It's just maybe it's part of the slow disclosure as well, right? So I don't know. Uh, I think NASA makes those structures look really small on the Mars images. They're readjusting the sizes to make it smaller. I think there's much bigger. And you may be right. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. It's Aditya. But the and we were talking about this before. Remember we said that somehow I even agreed with you guys. I think they're much bigger. Maybe it's more of a higher angle looking down, and and then they just superimposed this rover onto it to make it look like it's a whole lot smaller, and it's really not. Maybe it's much bigger, and it just appears that way, just the way they did it. Because, like I said, you could take us, like I say, how do we know they're not taking a high-rise camera, right? Taking a real close view of the ground, and let's say it's a view from maybe a couple hundred feet up. Okay, they do that, but then they superimpose the rover like it's sitting right there in the, like it's in the photo, like it's right there on the ground, and yet it looks, of course, it's all speculation. But yeah, I mean, you see these things, you just go, how can these things be this darn small, man? Like 5 inches, by 2 inches. It's possible, I guess. Things can be different on another planet, right? Polo Merlo, you have proven your point. What is our next step? Um, I hope they just keep giving information. I mean, that's all we can do, right? Like I said, I'm in it for the long haul. I like the idea of studying these photos and finding out what's on these other planets and stuff, and these moons and so on and so forth. Which reminded me, guys, that that video I told you about Titan. It's only like 6-7 minutes long. That'll be out tomorrow, somewhere around 2-3 o'clock. So Eastern time. And many of you guys have said, hey, man, I'm telling you, there's some structures back there and so on and so forth. And when I went into this again, that big area in the back, it looked like just a flat area. And I showed you where there was lines drawn and there was like a circles and everything else. Well, there is much more there. There's much more information there. And the only way you can actually do it, though, is if you try to zoom into it, it just looks like a mess. The only thing you can do is use your magnifiers to see it. Um, and it's just got some crazy things in there. Unfortunately, you've got these. I think that like sometimes you go into a photo and you've got these compression artifacts. Well, I think they're capable of making their own, and they can just click right over the top of these things. So you got that in there mixed with it, but then you can see the actual like oval shaped things. You got all kinds of. It's not just squares. It's nothing like that at all. So yeah, that's coming up tomorrow, so you guys can see that. And like I said, it's only like 6 minutes and 38 seconds or something like that. It's not very long. I just wanted to add to the first part. Um, Hey la la's, you put on there. Hi Chris. Are they lying on the photos? I'm talking about the land scales. Well, see, way back in the day, they used to put a scale on the photos, right? So you can get a general idea, okay, and match it up. And of course, you can get an idea, whether it be, if it's kilometers away, centimeters, how big something is, so on and so forth. They don't do that anymore. You go back way back to the older photos, and some of them they'll actually show a scale, and then sometimes 99.9% of the time, when's the last time anybody's seen a scale on any of these photos? You don't. Why? Easy to trick the eye, like we were just talking about. We could have that area that showed like them small structures could be much, much larger, and then it just superimpose this thing, the opportunity on it. We don't know, right? Again, pure speculation, but if they could trick people up with different ways and covering up and spot blurring and digitization on there and just to block what's really in there, what lengths will they actually go through, right? Lionheart Glassworks, you put it in. Anyone see the Bird on Mars video that Art Alien just put out? What do you guys think? I saw that. He actually did a pretty good job with that. Now, some people will say, well, no, it's just an artifact and it could be a dead pixel or whatever else, but you can just see that thing. It has a little bit of a blur to it. Part of it isn't. If you look at it, almost like, let's say, when you see the wings, that looks blurry, but the rest of it didn't. So that could very well actually be what he's saying it is. It actually looks like it. Yeah, you did a really good job on that. Pete's Vlogs, yeah, they don't want us to see it. Yeah, which, again, it goes much deeper than we're thinking. As far as, we're just thinking, oh, it's maybe just religious implications. No, I think it goes a lot deeper than that. I think it's all about go in there, get all the information, everything we need to know about this, any kind of tech that's on the planet. And think about it. Eventually, of course, it may be a long, long time from now, but eventually, I think once they've gotten all the information they need to get off whatever the heck's up there, they're going to let out little pieces of it. Wow, we found this bone that looks like it's human or something along that line. Then it's going to be, we found this. And then we found that it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Then it's going to be like, oh, we took this corner and guess what we found? We found structures. And so I think that's going to the way they're going to do it. They're going to build up to it, which I don't have a problem with that. I just wish they'd do it sooner, right? I think they're there. I think they're just meaning they're doing it, but they're just ever so slowly. And I know most of you guys are going, oh, please kill me. Because you just want the stuff to just be said, and that's the end of it, right? And I'm with you on that. I mean, couldn't be more with you on that. Let's see. J. Tony Clark, I'm going to post a music video of Mars Anomalies and Beyond in about an hour. Okay. Let's see. I am unable to find these thumbnail images anywhere. I don't know. I mean, it depends. Are you talking about the ones that I just did in that video? Because you don't want to see the thumbnails. They're extremely tiny. And yeah, believe me, you don't even want to try to use them. I don't even know why they even use the thumbnails, to be truthful with you. Renee von Oosterhout. Yeah. Hello, Chris. Your last video is crazy. I see a bus or kind of UFO. Incredibly GJ, Chris. Well, here's the thing. It's like, obviously people will see different things, right? They'll interpret it differently. To me, and I've said this before, let's suppose we see an item and let's say there's 5 of us looking at the same item. Every one of us comes up with something different. Okay. Let's say you go, I see a bus. I say, I see a turret from a tank. He says, I see a structure. I see, okay, let's suppose we're neither one of us are correct. It's our own interpretation, right? The point is, why aren't we saying it's just rock? Because we can differentiate the difference between a rock and a frickin' and something that looks intelligently made, right? Come on. So you can just see that. I mean, in that last video, it just boomed. It's all over the place. And that one thing that was just below what I call looked like a frame type thing, that I didn't even see when I did this picture the last time in my video. I didn't even see it. I just look, it's about depth when you look at the photo. And I stumbled on it. I'm looking at it. I'm going, what the heck is that? I said, oh my God, I never noticed that. But yet it's there. That to me was the most telling right there between that huge item on the upper right of the photo. And the other thing, like I said, it looked like it looked like some kind of a top to a vehicle, which I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it kind of looked that way, had that kind of look to it. God only knows what that is, but it's not a rock. You can just see the way that thing, it's intelligently made. And you can see these things coming out in front of it to the right of it. It just doesn't make sense. Kenneth Lee, you said some old photos of Nagasaki, Japan debris fields after the bomb was dropped look very similar to Mars photos. Add an orange filter and fake mound over the odd building still standing. And wow. And you're right. Absolutely. I mean, and again, If you were to change the color, kind of like the video I did about Titan, okay, they had that yellowish look over the whole darn thing. One, it creates a blur. You don't see anything definitive. You don't see any individuality as far as color wise. Everything is the same color. And you know, the only thing it can be is maybe lighter or darker in some areas, but that's it. Well, Mars is no different. They do the same thing. Orange color over everything. You're none the wiser. You know what I mean? You don't see anything that's got different colors to it. So therefore, it helps to hide it. Then spot blur, block everything out, so on and so forth. And this is just, just a bunch of barrage of things they throw at a photo to trick your eye. Depth, they'll mess with your depth perception. And like I said, colors, spot blurring, whatever it may be. This is what it's all about. This is how they go about hiding this stuff. Jeffrey Carlson also concurs. He says I saw that bus. And let's say it's not. Let's say it's not. It's still something that makes you go, okay, that's clearly not natural, right? That's all there is to it. Nacho Libre, you put in your last video, holy crap, it's not going to take long before we find a dead body up there or something else. How close can you get to the smoking gun? Well, and that's the thing. Bring out everything we can. Put the puzzle together. And I think you guys already know this. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of videos, not just mine, but other people's as well. Put it all together and going, that's it. You come to the conclusion it had an intelligent civilization on Mars. It's as simple as that. Michael Hart, Chris, what's good, my guy? From Marshall County. You put on there loads of stuff crossing over my house and around my place, different speeds and changing direction. That's wild. I've done this the other night where I've actually went out and it was pretty clear. Lately, we've been getting a lot of rain, so it sucks. You can't see anything, obviously, if it's cloudy, right? But listen, just lay down your lawn where there's no light pollution, right? No street lights or anything like that. And just look up. You just see these things just go in different directions, just cruising around. Now, obviously, you see things with strobe lights, planes, helicopters, whatever it may be, right? Common sense. But then you see these things just kind of like streaking across the sky. Some things you'll actually see stop and then just kind of change of direction. You go, oh, wait a minute, hold on. No strobe lights, none of that. Yeah, crazy. Whatever it may be, they're there. It's there, and you can see them with your own eyes. Pianeta Terra. Yes, I hope the aliens will save the Earth from irrational corporations and politicians who destroy the planet. We have a little time, and I am an activist, but we are few. Well, I think that's what it's going to take, believe it or not, an intervention. And like I said, I don't think people understand the magnitude of destroying this planet because, if you ever hear, let's think of Carl Sagan, when you listen to the pale blue dot, if you've ever guys listened to that, that is crazy. Just listen to it every day and you just understand how small we are. You screw up the planet, you're done. You know what I mean? It's not like you could just jump over to some planet that's got a high in methane and just like, I can just breathe this. It's not going to happen. So, yeah. And if we just keep on the track we're doing, it's not going to turn out pretty. And I think that's what we need, an intervention. Say, hey, guys, stop. You know what I mean? Dabs Anonymous, you said, are the Russian photos of the moon as I think you meant compromised as the NASA moon photos. I think that's what you meant. Yeah, unfortunately they are. If you look at the Zon photos, some of them are actually telling that, boom. I mean, in fact, I actually got one. It's one of the Zon missions that they've done. And between, you go back because they were the Soviet Union at the time. When you go back and you just look at all the stuff they've done, a lot of blacking out too. This started way, way back. That's what people don't understand. So it's no wonder that they're still doing it to this day on the Mars photos, any other planet, moon, whatever it may be. It's no wonder, guys. I mean, come on. I mean, you can see this yourselves. You can just look at these photos and go, oh my God, I can just see this where they took out a certain area. They blacked out. You can see the blur. This is the whole idea of doing these photos to help educate you guys too. I'm learning all the time. Again, it's a learning curve for all of us. I'm learning it. And again, I'm trying to get my eyes to adjust the depth thing, the depth, the way they mess with our depth perception and all this other stuff. So, by doing that, it helps you guys better understand the photos and you can pick it out like that. In fact, a lot of you guys have been saying that lately. Oh my God, I can just see that now, man. All he had to do is show me the photo, and I could see all kinds of crazy stuff in it before I did any enhancements to drag any of this stuff out. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Dabs, they are actually doing that. China's doing it. Any these space agencies are all doing it. Because they're all bedfellows. They're all in it together. They're all, I mean, despite what people think, they go, oh, no, 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 they're doing their own thing. They're all linked somehow, some way. And they just said, listen, let's just keep it away from the public, our public, your public, so on and so forth. Just keep it quiet. They don't need to know. And especially China, man, they butchered the hell out of their photos. The one with the last mission to the moon, man, talk about a butcher job. And it looked just like Blur Haven. I mean, it was just, oh my God. But you can drag some things out of that stuff. They're not as crafty as they think they are. Let's see. The quantum leap. Do you think the moon is an active alien base and we are cooperating with them? I believe so. I think the elites are. I don't think everybody is, obviously, and it doesn't have to be the president involved or anything like that. I think it's like way above him. Again, he's even on a need to know basis. When you think about it, if it is like the military, which you can almost bet that it is, I think once they went to the moon, who knows, they didn't have an interaction then. How do we know? And if they are, because people asked this question before, they said, well, it's just like Mars. If there are still beings there, like on the moon or Mars, why are they letting us go, just like, either send orbiters? Why are they letting people go there? Although, they say that a lot of people are saying, well, we've been warned off the moon not to come back. I don't think that's the case. I think they are. I think they're actually interacting with them. Again, it's just pure speculation because I can't confirm any of it, but that's, it kind of looks that way, Pat Sequin, you put are there any photos of Mars moons that you can analyze? Got the two moons. You can look at them, but they're highly CGI'd. Hard to bring anything out of these things. And that's just being honest. I've tried one way back in the day, and it's the way they've got these things. And you just look at the photos and you just go, man, it just looks like crap. It's totally CGI'd. And there's some things you could bring out of it, and some things not so much, right? So yeah. Good job. I have given you a better explanation on your video under comment. Sweet. Ayla Luz, you put on there. You're right. We know they're not rocks. Yeah, absolutely. And now some people literally, I'm not even lying to you. One guy says on there, and this is the latest video I just did. Oh, you're delusional. Really? Wow. It's almost like people like have this stumbling block. They don't even want to try to analyze the photo themselves. They're just going, they're rocks. And I even said this in the video. I said, people will say these are just rocks. Come on, guys. We don't even have to be CGI experts and we can see this stuff. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. Let me see. Aditya, I'm not even sure I'm even pronouncing that right. Forgive me if I'm butchering that. Do you think that there will be a point where the government military will attack these aliens, or will aliens reset us all of us, and keep us in check? I think it's a combination of both. I don't think I don't think the military will ever attack them unless they feel they're a danger to us. But if they're, not like whatever, again, Hollywood portrays them as evil, coming down to destroy the planet, snatch people from the planet, use them as slaves, so on and so forth. I mean, just crazy stuff. I think if this was going to happen, it would have happened a long, long, long time ago. And now, unless, of course, later on, sometimes is some kind of, beings from a faraway galaxy or something like that and decides to, want to, annihilate the planet. I don't see them doing that. But if they did, I think they would, obviously try to protect the planet. Although I don't know how good that would do, but I think that's what they would do. Because people have said that. Do you think that, they're ever going to attack us? I don't think that's the case, man. I really don't think so. I think if they are talking, meaning our elites are talking to these beings, I think that they're part of this neighborhood. So they're just saying, we're having talks at this planet, stuff and so on and so forth. And there's no need to, just basically just annihilate the planet, kill everybody on it, kill every being on it. I don't think that'll be the case. So, yeah. Uh, Vianetta Terra. Are aliens currently an absolute mystery like God is? Uh, I don't believe that. Well, I mean, they're a mystery per se because we don't know where they come from, what they look like. We just, take guesses and from any kind of experiences people had, because some people have been abducted, so on and so forth. And, so we're going by what their, recollection is. And, but we don't know where they come from, right? We can just make assumptions. But I think they're right here in our own solar system. What do you guys think? I think they're right from our moons, our solar systems, our own moon right here. And I think big time that's what's going on. Let me see. Nephilim? It could very well be. They got different names for them, so it could very well be, and that's what people are calling them. It's hard to tell. I mean, people got all kind. I mean, if you go to like different parts of the world, you talk to some of these shamans, these leaders of these groups, and their stories have been handed down. They call them all different stuff. Overseers, like the Egyptians, their overseers, their spiritual gods. They're depending on what group of people around the world that you talk to, they all have a different name. Paulo da Silva, hi Chris, and all on Mars anomalies and beyond. What's going on there, Paulo da Silva? What's happening? Good to see you in there. Yeah, photography, light and magic. Yeah, the aliens don't need to kill us. We're doing a good enough job of basically we're a threat to ourselves. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. That's what I'm saying, man. We're gonna need an intervention or something because I don't just foresee the governments of the world going, okay, everybody stop, and everybody just quits doing all kinds of bad things, right? So, does it get better or does it get worse? You know what I mean? Just look at your environment and your local area right now. Is it bad? Do you think it's going to get better or is it going to get worse? That's what you got to ask yourself. I don't foresee it getting better. You know what I mean? At some point, there's got to be a breaking point. Mort Piat, Rockstar, how are you? Well, everything's good here, man. What's going on? Rockstar, there he is. 8970. It's all good here. Cheers, guys. What's going on? Good to see you in there. Oh, this thing just jumped up. Man, you guys are all over this tonight. Awesome. That's right. Smash that like button. Yep. Smash it. Put it right through the table. Tell me what happened on Mars. Then they say it was nuked. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Back in the day, 1941, it was Dr. John Brandenburg who stated that there was 2 explosions in the atmosphere, mid-atmosphere. In other words, it wasn't on the ground. It was actually mid-air. And that's what they think actually killed the planet. Although people say it goes back thousands and thousands of years, I don't think that's the case, guys. I really don't. They might have had wars or whatever in the past, but I think this was the definitive point where it actually killed them off. I mean, let's say we had 2 of those large explosions right now in our atmosphere right now. And I'm talking, these things were huge. I mean, the way they talk about it. You got the Xenon 129. It's still in the atmosphere today. The orbiters have seen it. Curiosity rover has seen it. Do that to this planet right now and watch how many people you wipe out if it doesn't exactly kill the whole planet right off. There you go. You know what I mean? James Craggs, you put on there the Vatican's Lucifer telescope and Mount Graham as after sending back some unbelievable pictures and footage in the last few weeks. That even scared the top Vatican's astronomers. Again, guys, I mean, let's say we were all astronomers, right? We're looking through, at telescopes and everything else. I don't think they're prepared for some of the stuff they're going to see. Again, if you see something that's not ours and it just catches you off guard, you're going to be nothing but in awe and shock, right? I know I would be. I was like, okay, that I never seen that coming. Yeah, I mean, this stuff is just like these guys are all newbies to it too. I mean, you guys could be top, astronomers, but what happens when something comes along that's not in your book that you've learned? I mean, all of a sudden you're like, what the hell is that? Yeah. Studious Realism. Check out my 2-part sun videos coming now. Sweet. Drop a link. I'll drop the link to these guys if you don't mind. And we'll throw it on there. Bugs Bunny said, I think they are trying to help us. I think so, too. I mean, there's stories about how you can go to either it was Russia, the Ukraine, wherever it may be, and we got what looks like these UFOs are shutting down these missile silos and everything else. Again, I wasn't there, but there's actually, stories and, cooperation saying, yeah, there's absolutely happened. It just shut the whole darn base right down. They're running tests, they're firing these things up, powering them up, all of them completely shut down. What's that tell you? I mean, they're just saying, no, 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 no. We don't want you guys killing yourselves. Maybe they're just saying, hey, you know what? You guys are worth more than that. Stop doing the stuff you're doing or else you're going to end up killing yourself off. Don't do it. Mike Hoover. What's up, Killer Eye Chris? What's up, my Disclosure family? What's going on, Mike? Good to see you in there, brother. Yep. Everybody's saying, it's funny. I get like both sides of the pendulum. They're like, you get these other naysayers that come in and say, oh, man, you need better glasses. You need I don't know. I've got, like I said, I've got a, HD monitor right here, right in front of my face. I actually got 2 of them. And plus I got another one over here on my other separate computer. And glasses are really good, man. I got them perfect where distance away, because it is reading glasses. I got 20/20 vision, but I just need reading glasses. But I got these perfect length or distance from the monitor here, and it'd be the ultimate clearest. And you know what I mean? You can take these reading glasses like 125, 250, whatever the heck it is, and you just put them on until you get it perfect. Everything's perfect on that screen at the distance that you sit at it. And then when you do, everything's crystal clear. That's a great question. Intel Marble, you put on the, do you think the photo edit retouched are automatic or handmade? I think it's both. When it comes to like, I've said this before, like on Mars, I think the actual rovers, well, more now just a one rover because supposed Opportunity is now shut down due to a large sandstorm that they had and it couldn't charge itself back up. They're saying it's dead. Who knows, right? No way to validate or say what it might be or what happened. So Curiosity, I think it has an algorithm built into this thing where it can literally cover these things up, or it puts like something over, like a mask over it itself. And the only way to take it off is if you got software here on Earth that will actually clear it. In other words, it just takes the layer off and you can instantly see the photo. So this way here, if it gets, let's suppose it takes a picture of a structure, a large structure, and I mean pristine photo of a structure. It just puts an overlay of blur. So even if you were to intercept it, which it's almost highly unlikely you're going to do that, but let's say you did, you're not going to see nothing but a blur photo. You're not going to see anything. Or something along them lines where maybe it just puts a bunch of pixelation over it. So then when they get it, they have the computer that can actually decrypt it. And next thing you know, boom, there you go. You know what I mean? So that could very well be. I think because they were, well, I should say, let me finish answering your question. Once it comes back here, now they can see the whole photo. Now the CGI department goes to town on it. Once they've looked it over and seen what they needed to see, the CGI kicks in and they block everything and cover everything up. And then, of course, then we get it, we're the last people to see it. So, yeah. Let's see. I noticed that all of the high-resolution moon photos are different than thumbnail pictures. The HR picture makes the structure look like rocks and craters. What do you think? Yeah. Well, that is the only way. I was just going to say that because when you had asked that earlier about these thumbnails, I said, well, they're not really worth anything. Funny thing about it, if you can, without clicking on it, you can actually look at some of those without clicking on it. So in other words, it doesn't enlarge in the frame. And then try to take a magnifier to it. It still doesn't look good, but it may be the actual real photos. But because it's so small, you can't do anything with them. So therefore, you're not going to see anything of any value, right? So at least that's my thinking. I've seen many of those thumbnails and they're trash, especially if you click on them. They just come up with this big blur thing. But if you try to do it on If you just do it, just bring the page up and don't click on the just take your magnifier and check it out. Sometimes you can see things in there that that are questionable, and then sometimes forget about it. LI, New York, or NY 13. What's going on? Good to see you in there. Hey, Chris, do you watch Ancient Aliens? I do. Um, I liked them. I don't know about you guys when the very first season came out. These guys were like banging. I mean, awesome stuff. It confirmed a lot of things I was thinking about as far as ancient civilizations, as well as different planets, so on and so forth. Then I was watching it, everything was going good. And then they came out with being Sasquatch being an alien. I went, ugh. So I kind of slacked off watching it. Now I'm, starting to get back into it slowly. And they're kind of coming full circle. They're going back to like the stuff when they used to cover in the first season and so forth. Pyro Boys, what's going on from the Netherlands? Hi, Chris from the Netherlands. It was good to see you in there, man. Bugs Bunny, this is important stuff. It's our life and futures. Absolutely. Like I said, I think, and I know you guys are on board with this, but you can still give me your take on it. What would you do if we were actually got an intervention from a UFO? Obviously, they're not. I mean, if they start attacking the planet, well, clearly we know what the answer to that's going to be. But if it's just kind of flying around, and then they said, kind of like an Independence Day, only more of a friendly thing. In other words, they just park all over the world, and then they just send signals saying, all at once saying, maybe they broadcast over our TVs or radios or whatever it may be, and say, we're here for, to help you guys out, so on and so forth. What do you guys think? Secret space program? You mean military? Yes. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I know somebody else just commented about that too. What are your thoughts on the secret space program? Well, like I said, I think we've had this ever since the 80s. And I think it even goes back further than that. I think we're talking about it could be as far back as because, I mean, 40s, 50s. If you think about it, back in the day, the United States was trying to spy on Russia and vice versa. Well, it was Ukraine. Sorry, the Soviet Union. I know I'd figure it out. So they were building their own little space station to spy on different parts of the world, including the United States. Okay, this goes back in the 40s, man. Okay, so they had the way to do it. They had the means and the technology to do it. Do you think they all stopped right there? If they said, "Oh yeah, we can get out in space now. It's no big deal. Just go ahead and stop the space programs and just quit." No, they're not going to do that. That's the way man is. Think about it. Go back from the very first car to what we got today. The most exotic sports cars, you name it, electric cars, doesn't matter what it is. We're always pushing the envelope, always trying to better ourselves, always trying to do it. We didn't stop. I promise you we didn't. And you can only imagine what the military's got now. And that's been, like I said, then they come out with in the 80s. I think what was it, 83? Mid 80s, they're talking about the Star Wars program, where they're going to have weapons out in space and everything else. Of course, I don't think that went very well. But let's say they do. They're not nukes. Maybe they're lasers or whatever it may be. It's hard to tell, right? Yeah, exactly. James Craig, you put on there, Chris, that guy that told you that you were delusional must have been watching The Simpsons for shit's sake. Come on, man. They are visible structures and mechanical engineering pods everywhere. And I agree. I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's like blatantly right in your face, man. You can't get any better than that. I mean, I just don't know what it takes. I mean, it's literally you have to take the head and smack it up against a rock or something like that, or one of these things from the people are under. Oh, wow, you're right, it is. I just don't understand it. I just don't know what it takes for these people to finally see that. Or, like I said, some people got this mental block; they just don't want to see it. I don't know. I can't figure some people out. Photography, light, and magic. I think if the aliens turned up, most people would probably shit themselves. Well, and that may actually be true because, again, wait a minute, where's this thing coming from? Why is it here? You know, and I think it depends too. If it's something like the size of the ones that were in Independence Day, my God, I mean, but if it was something small or you never saw them, let's say they were just out in the atmosphere and they just broadcasted to us. That would be a little bit better, and I think people would be frightened to hear it or see it on TV, depending on radio, TV. Um, and I think they'd be frightened. I think they'd be like, "What is that?" But if they explain, this is the way it is. We're here to help you, so on and so forth. Wow. Again, you'd be frightened at first, but then you'd be thinking, "Wow." So again, I've said this before. Wow, we're part of something much larger. Wow. To me, that would make me feel awesome. I don't know about anybody else, but that would just, I'd be like, "Oh, this is awesome, man. This is cool." And it's about time. And then all the people that are lying, like space agencies and other whatever, whether it be scientists, whatever it may be, it's like just totally bypass them, and here they are. There you go. Uh, yeah, Paula De Silva. Yeah, it is a big. It is a. You said is a bit awkward. What would you do if the aliens were with us? I think we would all work with them. Well, like if you watch Ancient Aliens, where they talk about that, they said, they could be among us right now. In other words, look just like us. So let's suppose you were, and they revealed themselves, and somehow they can prove that they were aliens, but they look just like you, and you would never know the difference. What would you do? Would you freak out? Well, if they didn't try to kill you off, then you'd be like, oh, all right, cool. He's become a friend of mine. We've been working together. Yeah, you'd be like, okay, tell me more. I don't know if so many people, if they become friends with you and they look identical to you and they can prove that they are, in fact, from another world, I think you'd be like, wow, this is neat. Tell me more. I don't know. Maybe some people would still overreact, and just crap themselves. Who knows, right? Let's see. Yeah, good one. Nacho Libre, you said if they did that, we just sit back and watch people form rather new religion groups. Might even call them M Alien Source, and is awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, you ever heard of cargo cults where they said that, where back in the day, I think it was World War I, when they were on these islands and they had these indigenous people on there. And of course, they gave them food so they wouldn't be frightened from them and everything else. And when they left, these cults cropped out of nowhere, and they built like these bamboo airplanes and stuff like that. And they were just hoping these gods would come back, and they're bowing and praying to these things and everything else. So, yeah, I'm sure that would crop up like that. But, I think if they said their true intentions and said, no, we're not gods, we're just people like yourselves, and so on and so forth. I don't know. I think it's really wild. I think it may depend from one person to another, how they would feel. You know what I mean? How would they react? Some people, like you said, would probably freak out, and some probably wouldn't. Vianetta Terra, the truth is in the human mind, little developed to know the truth through reason. Well, that's true. Yeah, Mike Hoover. Yeah, and you're right. And that's pretty much the way I think a lot of people feel. It's simple. Us, can handle the truth. We already know. We're pissed they consider us dumbasses, which is true. Now the other people, they won't even care. They're too worried. New sneakers, yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, a lot of times, and it's not their fault. Let's be honest. I mean, the average person doesn't look into this stuff. Maybe they don't care. Let's say you showed them. They go, I'm not really interested. I don't know. I like to think outside the box. I've always been like that. I've always thought we're part of something much larger. There's something more out there. I'm sure a lot of you guys felt the same way before you seen any of this crap or got into anything Ancient Aliens or seen any videos here on YouTube, so on and so forth. I think you guys have probably felt the same way back in the day when you were younger and looked up at the sky and said, there's no way. And the thing is, we were never alone. And you're thinking to yourself, we can't be alone. There's no way. I know I have since a young age. What do you guys think? You're right. AK, man, if aliens had it in for us, it would have happened already. Yeah. They would have just said, get rid of them, done. But they may also be way above that. You know what I mean? Like I said before, they're above monetary. They're above, resources because they've straightened all those issues out way back, maybe thousands of years ago. So they don't have any need to war against each other and so on and so forth. They just, who knows, maybe every alien out there has the same power source, meaning how they can create it. So it's abundant. So there's no need to fight for it. Let's say you can pull energy out of the air and just run your vehicles or your house on it like this, and anybody can have it. Why would you fight over it? Think about it. There'd be no reason to, because everybody can get it with ease and they can get it on their own and you don't have to pay anything for it. Let's just say it's boom. You can just, maybe there's a machine that creates it and that's it. You never have to worry about it. Why would you war over it? Everybody's got it. You know what I mean? June Amato, yeah, you put on there. I'm ready. Bring your ass here, alien, and take me through the galaxy. Well, as crazy as that sounds, now some people would probably be frightened because they'd be thinking, well, yeah, probably going to like tear me to pieces and experiment on me. I don't think that's the case. Although, way back in the day, some people talked about that, how they gotten abducted and there were all kinds of tests were run on them. And here's the crazy thing. I used to think that was just BS, but then they had these, had them on lie detectors and everything else, and passed with flying colors. So, I mean, yeah. Now, if they're cool about it and everything else, and they're good aliens and benevolent and all this other good stuff, then yeah, then it'd be like, yeah, sure. Take me for a cruise around the galaxy. Let's see what's up. Yeah, I've seen that too. New York 13, I'm going to just call you. Some people say that the government is going to make a false flag alien invasion. I don't think they would go to such an extreme, but who knows, I guess. I've been hearing that too. I don't know how true that is. I mean, what would they gain by it other than you're going to be like, government, help us. It's just another way to keep you in control. But I think people will see through that at some point because of the technology out there. Maybe somebody will catch them lying about it, whatever it may be. I don't know why they would. It would just make more sense to me, like they're doing now. They're talking about how all kinds of engines and new engines they're putting on these spacecraft and how they can get from this destination to this one so much shorter time. So in a nutshell, you're making your own UFO, aren't you? You're making your own spacecraft. So it doesn't have to be in the form of a saucer. It could be just in the craft, like on the top of a rocket. Well, if you were going to another planet and you were there and you seen this thing approach, it's a UFO. I mean, but it's from Earth UFO. So if you're building engines, making a craft out of it, you're traveling to places, you are a UFO, you are an alien going to another planet. So what's the difference? And the funny thing about it is, see the way we're doing this stuff around other planets as well as Mars, you've got, we got all kinds of orbiters and everything else. How do we know we don't have them here? Like the, what was that other craft that that was around here, around the planet Earth? I'm actually drawing a blank on that. I'm sure you guys would tell me. But how do we know other civilizations are not doing the same, right? Think about it. Oh, we want to explore our solar system too. Why don't we send out probes? Check it out. There you go. We're doing the same thing. It's not unheard of. Natural Libre, there are billions and billions of solar systems, stars and planets, galaxies, and so on. There are no effing way in hell we are alone. I totally agree with you. Couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's good, like a common deduction. You just say to yourself, yeah, you're just looking out, and I say this before, in our own solar system, there's life. I guarantee there is. In one form or another, there's life. And they're not telling us the full truth about what they're finding on these planets. And I just wish they would. And I know you guys agree 100%. That's a good possibility, Pat. See, when you put on there, the aliens were hostile, but we reverse engineered defenses from Roswell crash. Yeah, that's a good possibility too. I mean, they're just going, whoa, they got a way to defend themselves now. Now we can't mess with them. That's a good possibility. Or like I said, maybe they're just, benevolent and they just don't care to do us any harm. I think any civilizations come that far in technological advancements and so on and so forth. And like I said, they build it with ease. And I don't think, unless of course if they're in like we are, technological state right now, then maybe, you know what I mean? Because we still war against ourselves, right? For fuels and oils and whatever. So maybe if they're in that point like we are, but I don't think that's the case. I think some of these alien civilizations go way back, like from the dawn of the expanding, universe. If they're on the very edge of it, then they're much older than we are, and we're just new kids on the block, so to speak. And they're just looking at us like, well, look at these poor things. They're just starting to crawl. They're just starting to get out into space now. We've been doing this for millions of years. So to us, to them, we're definitely not a threat. They're going to say, oh, look at the cute little weapons they got over there. And they're just going to way to defend against us, but they're not going to, they're not going to, annihilate us. They could have done it with ease. Some of these channels I see on there, like warmongering, like, oh, they're just fear-mongering kind of thing. Oh, my God, wait do you see this? They're all going to kill us off. We're all going to die. It's like, oh, stop. Like, man. And Dive Gabe, you put on there, yeah, you were agreeing with you, NY13. Yes, it was found the Nazis were building UFOs, only it was powered by rocket engines, so not true anti-gravity. I don't know. They've been messing around with that, too, back in the day. If you really get into that, they were talking about anti-gravity way back then. At least they were fooling with it. Now, whether they ever perfected it, that's a different story, right? So, yeah. I just think, let me see if this was right here. This thing just jumped up on me again. Well, like I said, the Nazis were actually building these craft that looked just like UFOs. Where'd they get the idea from? You know what I mean? That's what's crazy about it. When you look at how they were building them things, where'd they even get the ideas? Unless, these things crashed at one point over there. We had it over here. Roswell crash, so on and so forth. And I think this has happened all over the world. And, people are just grabbing this stuff up, reverse engineering it. Aditya Tata, you put on there, what do you think those platform things are? And you put on the AS-16. M0382 has giant platform. You can see the spider legs branching off from it. Well, again, if you're talking about, they actually look like round platforms. I've been seeing these for I don't know how long. They are not, they're not craters. They literally have things, different size things on them, whether they're oval, more of a square. I think they've been kind of like drawing things over them to make them look more oval instead of an actual structure. But whatever these things are, they're actually platforms. They're artificial, meaning they're not part of the lunar surface. And I've been seeing that through a lot of this stuff, a lot of these photos, and clearly there's some kind of platforms. And some of them are like right in a row. I mean, come on, And then you can see a crater. And you can see this huge indentation in the ground, and common sense, you see the difference between the two, right? Yeah, Mike Hoover, you're right. I hate hypothetical fear porn, how the earth ends and shit. How about how do we start saving our planet? Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, I see a lot of this. What was it like? There was a lot of things, things are going to hit the planet. This is going to happen. Da, 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 da. Stop. I mean, I've even done a couple videos where, these people are claiming this is going to happen. We're going to get killed off. We're going to be, it's like almost every, 2 to 5 years, there's something else coming at us is going to murder us or kill us or whatever the case may be. The only thing the only thing I can ever think that would kill us off is some kind of, body coming in from somewhere in the solar system, a giant meteor, whatever it may be. If it's something that's going to end the life on this planet, you're not going to know about it. They're not going to tell you unless some rogue, astronomer tells us. You won't know because they're going to say, "What's the point? It's going to kill the planet right off." So, in other words, let's say it's kind of like what was that movie that came out? Deep Impact, where I think it was Deep Impact, where they had this huge rock coming in, and of course they did everything they could to break it to pieces, so on and so forth. But if they see something that's coming at us, like it's like half the size of the United States, don't even bother. And if they tell you like, oh, by the way, it's going to hit like in 3 weeks, it's going to be pure pandemonium here because people are thinking, whatever I want to do now, I'm going to get all my ambitions out. I'm going to do whatever I ever wanted to do. What are they going to do? Send me to prison? You know what I mean? It's going to be pure pandemonium. total social breakdown. That's one thing you'll never know about. Now, if it's just a rock just hurling through, it's maybe the size of a football field. They'll tell you about it all day long, and how it's going to miss us X amount of miles away. They're going to keep an eye on it. But what do you guys think about that? If there was a huge rock coming, what would be your thoughts? I think that's, at least that's my thoughts. I mean, that's the only thing I can see, that they would not tell us about. And again, you wouldn't know about it, so fair point there, right? Basically, just kiss your butts goodbye. I wonder how common it is for the civilizations in the galaxy or universe to be visited by each other. Also, I wonder how common it is for civilizations to merge and coexist with each other. I think it's like a common thing. It's kind of like your neighbors now. Now, well, depending on where you live, right? But I think it's kind of like your neighborhood if you got good folks around you and stuff like that, only on a much larger scale. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go hit planet 139 today. Will you guys come along? Sure, why not? I mean, it's just like not even a big deal. And if they're part of this giant, collective, so to speak, if they're just, just neighbors and stuff, it's not even a big deal. But now you got planets like ours just learning how to get out into space. That's why I said they had that space treaty. They don't want people warring. Don't bring this trash out here. In other words, just saying be peaceful. Come out, take your time, and then you get welcomed into it, whatever. Yeah. See, Quantum Leap, I think they should tell us. Absolutely. I totally agree. Dark Knights LA. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. In fact, I did a video on that. They said it was the one of the thermal blankets from the one of their crafts. I flagged BS on that because it shows this thing a distance away from the craft, and it's much bigger. If you see the one they were talking about, the blanket, the thermal blanket, it was like it's maybe from the guy's neck, maybe his torso itself was maybe the size of the blanket, maybe 4 foot. Maybe this thing's way off in the distance and it was much bigger than that. So I don't believe that's the case. I think. I just think, to me, I could be wrong. To me, that is absolutely a spacecraft. And you can see the difference between that blanket and that thing. I mean, yeah, the Black Knight, totally different. American Rebel, I want to know. Well, we all want to know. James Greggs, smash and share them buttons, guys. Come on. Hit that hammer that damn button. That like button. Do it up. Milton Cordonero. Do you believe in aliens? Absolutely. Again, I mean, to me, it's just weird how people, when you think aliens, you ask people, they go, do you believe in aliens? They go, when if you say yes, well, wait a minute. I'm not talking about like those little gray guys with the, these weird almond-shaped eyes. I'm talking about people like ourselves. I think there's much more people like ourselves out there, more than when you say these grays. At least that's my opinion. I know they said there's both. There's some people like us and then there's these little gray aliens. I don't know if I believe all that, but I do believe that there's people like us, which a lot of our ancient civilizations considered our gods, plural, by the way, polytheistic. They're our gods. And I've said this before, if you were way back in the day, even before the pyramids and stuff like that, and something come out of the sky, clearly you're going to bow down to it. If it's other than a bird flying in the sky, then clearly you're going to just be at awe and you're going to consider them gods, especially if they come out looking like us. Yes, absolutely. You're going to be like, wow, this is, who are these people? And then they come out and according to them, they taught them all kinds of, whether it be mathematics, agriculture, all of these things they taught them or helped them along the way. Even if they already knew this stuff, they helped them along the way. Yeah, I mean, there you go. I do. I absolutely do. Believe in aliens or other beings. We'll use that term instead. Yeah, Pyro Boys. Yeah, you're right about that. They should tell, but they will keep it a secret and go in their bunker. Well, yeah, they better hope it's not something extremely large, though, because it'll just end this planet. I don't care how much you're in a bunker, because you're only going to be able to stay in there so long, and then you're going to have to come out at some point. I mean, you'll have all this food, but Eventually, it's going to run out. And if it's enough to annihilate this planet, there's no helping them even underground. Tommy, you said, sorry, Chris, it's after 1 a.m. here in the UK, so I must go to bed. Good night and have a great hangout. I'll catch up during the day. Well, I appreciate you, Tommy. Appreciate you stopping by. You have yourself a good night and a good week coming up there, right? TR3S, Del Sol, you said, who? Well, who's the who? Who are you asking about? Occam's razor, guys. Yep, Scott Gamble, you're right. Easiest and most simplest explanation. Let's see. I don't know. New York 13, you said, how common do you think alien wars are in the universe? Again, if they're above all that, again, I don't see them warring. Again, let's just suppose for a moment, like I said, we all had the same vehicles, meaning either they're whatever they could be. It doesn't matter what they are, right? It could be all electric, could be hydrogen, could be anything. And you could get it with ease. In other words, you didn't have to struggle to buy it. The government gave it to everybody, or you fuel up, whatever it may be. You wouldn't have to fight over it anymore. So, excuse me. So you've got to ask yourself, okay, so, what would they war about? Now, there may be actually resources on other planets that they do get, and then they war. So if they do, well, then it may be common, right? I don't know. It's a great question, though. Aditya Tata, are you going to do a collaboration with Brucey's All? Have you spoken to him? No. He's definitely he's cut everything off. I've gotten many you guys asking me this, and I'm just going to tell it like it is. You guys know that during his live feeds, I would try to talk to him, and a lot of you guys, the subs, whether his or mine, would have to relay it to him. And so I've been saying this for a long time, dude, you got me blocked, so on and so forth. And, he would say no. Now, whether deliberately or not, it's not the point. I'm still blocked, right? And I've been telling this for quite a while. And long story short, I found some awesome stuff. He was doing like a couple videos where he had just like the moon, like he had the telescope facing a certain way. And so now the moon's moving in the actual frame. So I took a couple of stills, screen grabs of the video, and I enhanced it. And the stuff I found in there was phenomenal. Okay. So now I'm saying, oh my God, it's Friday. It got Friday evening. I went on there. And you guys know as well as I do, right now you could type something in that says, say something in that box. I went in there and said, hey, Bruce, and this is exactly what I asked. And you can go to this video and see this. I said, dude, get a hold of me through Skype. I have something that will change your channel and work in the future. And your work in the future. Chris, Mars Anomalies. But what I had to do, well, let me just say this. So I get on there and I start typing. Oh, I go to hit the little blue arrow. Won't go through. Somehow I'm now blocked on his live feed. So what the hell is going on? Now I'm frustrated because here's the thing. I'm trying, I was simply trying to do this. This was my motive. I was trying to actually validate more of his work. He does great work. I wanted to validate it more, and it would validate me. A lot of you guys had asked me, said, Chris, would you work alongside of Bruce? I said, yes, absolutely. So when I seen this, my whole intentions were this. I wanted to take it and do the enhancement, and then I wanted to tell him about that, and we could have got together. I would have showed it to him, and then what would have happened is he would do the actual live telescope, and then I would do the ground where I actually, pick apart some of these, some of the photos that were brought to us by either the LRO, the same areas that he enhanced. And then if I found the same thing, it would corroborate his work as well as mine. So I wanted to work alongside him. And, and then so during this video, he actually reads this and then he says, change my channel. Why would I change my channel? It's like he had this predisposed idea that I was trying to hurt his channel in some way, shape, or form. And that was not my intention at all. So in my frustration, I left a message on his page saying, dude, now you got me blocked on live feed. I said, what's going on with you, man? And, and then I went on and I explained it. I didn't say anything bad. And you guys know I've done nothing but praised his work, praised the channel, never said anything ill bad about him ever. And then it's the way he responded to me. I said, "Oh no, we ain't playing that shit." It's the response just totally blew my mind, and I said, "Yeah, I'm not going to work with him. There's no way." And I hate to do that because the guy does great work. I like the guy, but he just went off the deep end on me, and I just said, "I'm done. Nobody's going to talk to me like that ever." And like I said, I mean, it's a shame because I'd still work alongside of the guy. Like I said, my motives were simply that, just to try to help him along with his work. It would have cooperated with him, and it would have showed what I was showing was true, and it would show him. So, in other words, we'd both be cooperating each other's work. He's doing live, like I said, telescope, and I'm taking some of his stuff that like I said, is just kind of going over the moon's surface. Boom, I would have showed it. Then I would have went to the LRO photos. Probably would have found the same stuff. Guess what? We would have been a force to be reckoned with. But I said, you know what? That was only my intentions. And I got blown out of the water. I said, oh, no. I'm not going into that. That's not going to happen. So that's the reason why we don't talk. I've watched his videos where some of you guys had asked about it, and he says, no, we don't talk. Like he's like angry. It's like, I'm the one who should be angry. There's many times if I tried to get a hold of him, I tried to now whether it's intentional or not, doesn't matter. You can understand my frustration. When I went to go, I said, wait a minute. First of all, you guys had to actually relay the message to him because he couldn't see me on his live feeds. And then on top of it, then I went to go to his live feed to just spread this and tell him this awesome news to help him out and further validate his work. Not that he doesn't do good work, guys. He does awesome work. And I still stand by that. And then all of a sudden the response I got from him blew me away. I was just like, oh, wow, forget it. I'm done. So, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I know he has been... he's had problems, people hacking him and stuff. And we talked before we even did the live feed when I had him on my channel. And I said, man, I stand behind you. I even said it in that video, that live feed that him and I did. I had him on there. I said, I stand behind you. I got your back. And I meant it. And so where all of this was coming from just totally blew my mind. I don't know where he's getting all of this information, thinking I'm trying to do his channel wrong, whatever. But after that response, I was like, I'm done. All set. Let's see. It's his loss. You have a good heart, brother. Yeah, like I said, I had no other intentions. Nothing ill towards his channel. And I said, like I said, I wanted nothing but good for him. You know what I mean? I think it would have been awesome to actually be able to cooperate and do stuff together. And like I said, just further validate what he was doing and what I was doing. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. And like I said, somehow he got I got a hostile response from him. Like, what just happened? Totally dumbfounded. And you can see from the comments I put on there, and of course he got rid of those. But like I said, I still like the guy. I just don't understand where he's coming from and why he thinks I'm trying to attack his channel or whatever. I don't know. Maybe because he's been bashed so often that maybe he just thinks I was trying to do the same. But he should know that by now that wouldn't have been the case. So yeah. Kelly Matthews, I smashed the like button. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Start posting UFO videos. Well, I do have a couple telescopes. Not as big as that one, the one he's got, but I could go out and get one of those if I want to. Like I said, guys, I still tell people check out his work. He's good people as far as the work he's doing. Phenomenal stuff. And I'm not lying about that. I'm not trying to schmooze up to him. I could care less. I'm just saying he does great work, and I've always stood by him, and that's what I'm saying. You say he's paranoid, but the thing is, I understand where he's coming from. If he's been attacked, I'd be the same way. I'd be reluctant to get close to anybody. But again, he should have known my intentions by the way we were talking. Just go back and watch that video. Everything worked out fine. Everything was great. We were doing well. Everything was just perfect. And then all of a sudden, don't know what happened, but it is what it is. Let me see. Did I get your link? Yeah, I did. Oh, hold on. Let me do this. Almost locked that out on me. Let me see here. Just go ahead and shut that off right there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and post this now. Studious realism. Go ahead and grab this link. I'm going to go ahead and make your link live as well if nobody sees it. I'll go ahead and show that one. Yeah, she's doing good work on there, guys. Check out her videos. There's a link to it right there. I think that one there was called A Hold on the Sun, I think it was. American Rebel, you said it's too bad about you and Bruce. This is disturbing. I will never leave your channel, just you know. And guys, I got no ill feelings towards anybody. You guys, if you want to be friends and subs with him, stay with him, man. He does great work. I've got no problem with that. You know what I mean? That's the way I feel. And like I said, my motives, I don't know what he was thinking my motives are. He said, oh, you know, you said you wanted to work together. Yeah, right. It's like, I did. I'm trying to understand where he was coming from, why this sudden flip in attitude. And, you know, I mean, I understood why he got pissed. He got pissed because I put it on his page, but there was no other way to get a hold of him. I got him on Skype. He wouldn't answer me. Now, I'm not saying he blocked me, but it actually appeared that he did, because now I could look up his name and he's nowhere to be found. Now, he had said that, what did he say? He said, I'm not going to mention the person's name, but you said that I blocked you and I did not, but now you really are blocked. Man, I've been blocked. You know, whether intentional or not, I've always been blocked. So it is what it is. And like I said, to me, let's suppose he came to me and he said, hey, Chris, you got me blocked, man. You know, I don't understand what's going on. You got me blocked. I would do everything possible I could to make sure he was not. He claims that he's blocked for mine, but yet you can go on that video. His stuff is right there. His any comment that he's ever put is right there under it. And, you know, you guys got great subs, you know, great, he said everything, and, you know, he was being cool about it. Everything was genuine. But if I go to it right now, there's no reply button next to the side of his. You guys will see a reply. I won't. So that's how you know I'm still blocked to this very day. And it had nothing to do with him just supposedly just blocking me. And again, guys, I understand where he's coming from. If he's had this problem before, he's been hacked, he's been blocked, he's very reluctant to get close to anybody, and I don't blame him. However, I would not have reacted the way he reacted to me. In a million years, I wouldn't. I would have said, I would have hurried and got rid of it, and I would have went back over to either Facebook when he had it, because he got rid of his Facebook because he said it got blocked, and I would have said, dude, what are you doing? You know, I just got through telling you I wasn't there, but no, he didn't. He just overreacted as far as I'm concerned and called me names and everything else. I said, oh, no. I don't give a shit who you are. You're not calling me names, and you sure in hell ain't going to talk to me like I'm a piece of garbage. That's not going to happen. I don't care who you are. You know, I've done nothing but talk good about him, gave him nothing but praise on his channel and himself, and that's it, you know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, you talk trash about me. See, this isn't, and I have not done that since we stopped talking. Think about this a minute. I have not done any of that. But I had a lot of you people saying, hey, what's going on with you and Bruce? You guys haven't been talking, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know what the deal is, but like I said, whatever. It is what it is, you know. Let's see. Yeah, you can't be friends with everybody. You're right about that. TR3S, Del Sol. Okay, world. Bye. See ya. See you later. Keep the good work. Keep up the good work. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, man. James Craig, Chris, man, you never have to explain yourself to anyone. His loss. I just want to say that at the top of the range, man. Well, like I said, maybe in this day and age, people just take that weird. Like, in other words, why is this guy trying to help me out so much? What's going on? I'm already doing my own work. Yeah. I never, you know what? I mean, it's just like, okay, I never said to change your channel. And like I said, that's right there. You know, all you got to do is go there and during his video, and 2 hours and 16 seconds, he says it right out. He reads my message. I don't know. And like I said, and to me, it just like, you know, I don't know what happened to him, but it's like he had this weird attitude about himself after that. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's got good reason, but that's why he got mad at me, because I posted on his page. I'm simply asking the question, why am I being blocked? And then I got blocked on that. And like I said, he just lashed out, and that was it. I said, okay, that's fine. Have a great day. Yeah, you're right about that, James. You're right. I'm here in California, Rockstar 8970. So yeah, you're what, 5:30 almost? Man, must be nice. I wish I can gain a couple more hours for that. That'd be awesome. Michael Martin, thumbs up for not taking shit from no one, Chris. That's right. Smash that like button, guys. Yeah, I heard something about that. New York 13, NASA found a second Tabby star, so it's proven that their Dyson sphere is being built around stars. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's there's just a way of making their own satellites. Like we have the ISS, and you can see the way it's configured and everything else. And I think they said it's about, well, it was the size of a football field before. Now I think it's because they're always adding to it, right? So I'm sure it's bigger than that by now. But maybe their way of doing it is just building a sphere as opposed to what the way we build, right? But these things are huge because because like the way they can judge it is how much light it takes from the planet, how much it blocks out light in there as it goes by the front of the planet. Is it just a little bit, just dims it a hair bit, or a whole bunch? And they found that a lot of these things literally dimming like what is it, 80% of the light? So yeah, they're quite large. Now let's see. What Piat? Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Oh yeah, that's the plan. You put on there are lights in the pyramid on Ceres. Yeah, I've seen the lights part of it on Ceres. Now, of course, they downplay it, and if you look at it, it's like now they make it look like this little mountain ridge or whatever. I mean, it's quite large, but I mean, from the photos, you can see what it looks like, this weird lighted part or something like that. So yeah, it's cool, but they just downplay it and just kind of it's nothing there, it's nothing. And that pyramid type looking thing, that's weird too. Let me see. Phil Cox, you put on there. Let's see what we got here. Chemtrails crossing the moon, lunar wave anomaly. Yeah. Yep. I'll go ahead and I don't know if you already dropped the link, but I'm going to drop it anyway, just so people have it right here. That's pretty interesting. Secure team is back. I thought he's already been back. It seemed to me. Well, I'm trying to remember because I know somehow he became. What was it? What was it? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, he's demonetized, and then he came back, and of course, well, he had everybody take to the street, so to speak, and stand up for the channel and all that other good stuff. And so I was glad that he did that because it's been happening to more than one channel. It's not just him; it's other channels too. So yeah, I'm glad he did what he did, and then he went on vacation. So everybody's like, "Oh my God, what happened to him?" It's like nothing happened to him. He just went on vacation. 786 Otto. Well, I appreciate the support, brother. Thank you for the work, Chris. Always looking forward to your videos. Well, again, I appreciate that. I like to try to think that the content that we bring here is thought provoking and it makes people want to really dive into these photos. And it seems like it's working. You guys are all over these things. In fact, it does my heart good because a lot of you guys are saying, I've gotten Photoshop now. I mean, you can get like GIMP, even though it's not like Photoshop, but it's still free. The older versions of Photoshop are free, so you can check that out too, right? Let's see. Let me see. Cosmic Knight, Chris, you're a really nice, easygoing kind of guy. I don't see how anyone can be mad at you. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I literally done something, being facetious or whatever it may be, then I can understand that. It would make sense to me, But listen, like I said, maybe in this day and age, people just look at people like myself going, "What's his motive? Why is he trying to help?" And I understand, if you're already doing good work, you're just thinking, What's he trying to do?" So whatever. I mean, it is, like I said, it is what it is. He does his thing, I do mine, and that's the end of that. Um, oh, this thing just jumped up on me. That's the thing. Yeah, you're right about third phase. Yeah, they got demonetized too. Now, I know back in the day, I know they were doing some, everybody was saying, "Oh, they're shady" and all this other stuff. I didn't really watch them. Just people said, "What do you think about third phase?" I said, to be truthful, I haven't watched them. I think I seen one or two of their videos and thought it was okay. I didn't have any problem with it. But a lot of people have watched a lot of their stuff. Yeah. And just like you said, New York 13, yeah, third phase is a joke. Again, I didn't watch them enough to know whether some people said they were making up this crap and everything else, and the lion and making all this weird stuff up. Truthfully, I don't know. Hi, Chris. Love catching your live stream Monday morning here in Australia. Well, at least it's working out for you. Some people go, "Man, I just got to go to bed. I can't be up." uh, Yeah, I mean, it's James Christ. You made a great question there. What do you think of NASA's names for missions, etc.? Do you think they have an Egyptian type history to them? Well, yeah, they do, because the way they actually word these things, like Osiris, I think that's one of the spacecrafts, so on and so forth. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's just coincidental. They just said, "Wow, it just sounds like a cool name to throw on there, so let's go ahead and do that." Or there is a link to it. Like if you look at the links from the pyramids, and then you look at the pyramids and the face on Mars, and the way they measure out and everything else, it's just like we got here. Um, here on Earth, kind of the same thing plays out there. The way they're laid out and everything else, the D&M pyramid and all that stuff over on Mars. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a link to that somehow, and maybe some is coincidental, maybe not. James Judd, you put in there, read recently about black holes forming within a few 100 million years without a supernova required. Yeah, I mean, the good thing about it, they don't just form like that, right? Because if there's one in this solar system, we can all kiss our butts goodbye. So, but yeah, I mean, you can read on stuff like that, and you really got to be into it, because it can be all like a third language, right? Like, what the hell does that even mean? But you know, I think it's intriguing. It's got a lot of energy in those black holes, and it wouldn't surprise me if they try to send a craft through there just to see what would happen. Think about it. Just send one. Let's just see what happens with it. That's the way they look at it. Let's just see what happens, and if it sends anything back, great. If it doesn't, who cares? I mean, Cosmic Night, Chris. If you could have a conversation with Bob Lazar, I'd find it real interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't even mind having talking to him face to face. That'd be pretty sweet. That would be sweet. Phil Cox said, "Cheers for subbing, American Rebel. Really appreciated. Thank you." Yeah, jump on over there. I mean, I always look for channels that, doing like you did the telescope work, so on and so forth. I love stuff like that, because to me, it jumps over any of these space agencies, and you get to see the real deal. So there is no fooling around with, manipulations and everything. You get it firsthand right from a telescope, right? That's what I love about channels that do that, and I support them any way I can. Let me see. New York 13, you put anybody here about the TR3B Black Triangle UFOs? Any Anybody think they're secret government UFOs or alien? This may actually be a cloned craft because that shape has always been around for quite a while. They even called it, what was that other one that was similar to that? The wing. I think they called it the big wing. And basically, that's all it was, wings and engines. And then they just decided to make a triangle, period. So I think it's something to do with our military. And it might have been cloned or copied from an actual alien craft. Who knows? Don't get me wrong. I believe that we're smart enough to build these things ourselves. We're not dumbbells, right? I mean, look how far we came from way back in the late 1800s, from then on, and look how much we accelerated. Now, some of them, of course, people saying, well, the Roswell crash, once we, ripped the craft apart, we got like fiber optics, laser, things like that, different smaller items. And of course, once the government got it, then it rolled down to us, because we use fiber optics in our life. If you got cable, high-speed cable, that's fiber optics. So, so much information can be sent through light. A lot better than a radio wave. You can put so much more information through light because it's direct, right? You don't lose anything. Well, if you got a long strand of cable, fiber optics, you can. So they got boosters on, so many miles away or whatever. Yeah, well, Mike, you're saying that TRB-3 is government ships. Yeah, and I believe that. Like I said, we're smarter than most people think. The technology they've got, just look at the crafts they got today that used to take, all of these smaller planes that we have today, like the A-10 Warthog, things like that, which is really kind of primitive. But it was cool the way that thing was because my brother used to work on those. He said you could sit there, literally fly over like a freeway doing 55 miles an hour and still get up to like 600 plus miles an hour. So that's kind of neat. A plane can do that. And it wasn't very big. It was all engines and a seat, to be truthful. The thing was, I've actually went up there and touched one of those things. It's pretty cool. So, but they're wild the way they can design these things and the technology they got now. Just look at some of these. I think it's even on the History Channel. They got like these newest planes out there and stuff and what they can do. It's like, it's crazy. Dave Jones, hi Chris. Keep up the good work. Love the videos and live chats, big man. Love to everyone tonight. Keep sharing, Dave, UK. All right, Dave, if you're taking off, you have yourself a good night and a better day tomorrow there, right? Yep, love the live streams with you guys too, man. That's what it's all about. Be able to see, get your views about the videos we just done, and you guys interacted with it. What did you guys see? Of course, you guys leave comments anyway, and I always tell you to do that. Because I'm just curious if you guys are seeing the same thing or stuff much different than I am. And some of you guys are saying, "Oh my God, how do you not see the obvious? It's right there." I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking for the more technical stuff, and maybe I don't see the obvious. But it doesn't mean that that I don't see them all the time. Maybe I do that purposely. Think about that a minute, because now it gives you guys a chance to say, "Yeah, I seen something different. What about that piece over there?" And that's what it's all about. So, yeah, pretty cool. It's the interaction to me it's just awesome to be able to do this. James Greggs, yeah, you sit in there, you have Hawkeyes, man, top of the range, man. Well, like I said, I just look at the stuff, and if I see something of any value, I'll try to bring it out. And if not, I just, and like I said, if you guys seen how many photos I go through, like I said, I'll just bring, hey, well, this one looks interesting. I'll bring it up. It's not what I thought. Next. And then, then there's some things, like I said, I've seen something in there, can't quite bring it out for you guys to see it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time or mine. I'm not going to try to bring out something. Well, I'll try to bring it out, but if I don't, I said, man, it's just not, there's no way to convey this. There's not enough meat on the bone, so to speak, to be able to bring it to you guys. So I just get rid of it. There's no point. Well, that's what they say, Renee. They say lasers and fiber optics are extraterrestrial alien UFO technology. And I think if it was in the craft on Roswell, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's what they say. I can't vet it, but that's what they say. Um, to me, it's just like it wouldn't surprise me because look at how far we've come from, everything from tube radios to then you get the hybrid kind of thing. We got solid state and you got tubes, and then all of a sudden you get into tubes. The solid state, and then we're into microelectronics. I don't know if you guys remember that back in the 80s, and I remember this thing well. Like you got the Apple Watches today, they're square. They were a little bit bigger than that, and it was an actual TV screen. But what it would do is, at first I thought you can actually hear it and everything. No, it'd actually go through. I don't know if it was almost like a Walkman type thing, and it had headphones, and you put headphones into that. But the sound and everything would go through there, and you could literally watch TV on your wrist. And that was back in the 80s. Oh my God! You know how much you'd have to shrink that thing down? That's crazy. So even back then, the stuff that they had was just nuts. Good stuff though. James Powers, do you have any anxiety advice? Yeah, I try not to get involved with too much crap. Uh, everybody gets it to a certain degree, I think. You know, whether it's starting a new job, things that are coming up that you just, you know, to me, it's like, what was it? There was some kind of saying that they said, if you have anxiety, you're thinking of the future. If you're, I think it was depressed, you're thinking in the past, but you have to think in the now. So basically, you're calm. So that's what it comes down to, right? I don't know. What Piat? I told Bruce I didn't understand his video in French, but liked the video. He went off me and called me John Lear, thought I was a spy. Okay. Daniel Webster, you said, and then the strangest thing I ever saw. All I know is that it was miles in diameter. It was at night, and I saw a large mass moving, and then it seemed to turn, or I guess it was supposed to be rotate or something like that, which produced a whoosh. Um, well, I mean, a lot of people claim that. A lot of people say something flew over my house. I couldn't hear the damn thing. So it makes you think. So was it very large and so far away that I couldn't hear the sound of it, or was it just very large and very low to me, and I couldn't hear it? That's creepy. I haven't seen anything like that. Now, a couple of people I know have told me that, and I believe it, because they're not the only ones that've ever seen or heard, or I should say, I was going to say or heard it. Um, but the idea is that people have seen this. More than one person have seen this. Are they all delusional? Are they all losing their minds? I don't know. I'm not sure about all that. James Greggs, I appreciate it, man. You put, look, Chris, I really appreciate your work and effort and personal time you put into get these latest and greatest videos out and Hangout to us. Thank you, man. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. Listen, I said this a million times. This channel would not be here if it wasn't for you. Think about it. If you didn't sub, you didn't watch the videos, would there be a channel here? Absolutely not. So, yeah, I appreciate every one of you, man. I really do. That's from the bottom of my heart. I hear you there, Mike. There are transportation tubes all over the solar system, I swear. It could very well be. I know that they're, like I said, you can almost bet that, again, it's a community and they're just kind of going back and forth. It's kind of like we have here on Earth. We got these small islands with just indigenous people, totally oblivious to technology that goes on here. Now picture the universe. They're flying around, they're doing their thing. they're going around. And then you got the people like us. We're still trying to crawl and starting to walk, and we're getting up there, but yet we're still warring with each other. So it's like a bunch of little kids. That's why I said, I think if took an intervention, I think that would help us greatly. Kelly Matthews, I sub to your channel. Well, thank you very much. Welcome aboard. Very interesting, and you guys seem real cool. Have a great night. You do the same, Kelly. Kenneth Lee, you put on there, Chris. Are you self-taught on these Photoshop you are using to enhance anomalies? You're so good at bringing the hidden stuff out. Well, like I said, it was a buddy of mine. His name's Peter. He was on. I'm not even gonna think of his channel now. Space Cadet. Funny enough, he called himself. And if you check it out, it's Cadet with a K. Space Cadet, and he actually was into lithographics for I think it was 10 or 11 years. So pretty much, an expert at it. And he showed me different things in different ways to look in the raw forms of black plate, cyan plate, black plate, all this other stuff, and look into the raw parts of these photos. So he's the one that actually filled me in on this and educated me on that. So I learned off him, and it was all airs because it was all new to this, didn't know anything. And then all of these things that I've been seeing long before I started to talk to him, it all came together. Once I learned what I had to learn and then how to go about enhancing these things, it all came together, and I can bring a lot of this stuff out. Not all of it. No, not all of it, but a lot of it I can bring out. So yeah. Flag. Ooh, I will never watch live. Too many kooks. Okay. Well, Michael Martin, you said, how about the loud sonic booms here in Arizona? Shook my house almost off the foundation. No one knows what caused it. Well, like I said, I mean, these TR-3Bs, these crafts, all of these top secret, uh, aircrafts we're building, maybe cloning, whatever it may be. I mean, these things are flying at speed you would not believe. So you get these sonic booms. I mean, you can hear just some regular aircraft shows, right? Go to these shows, and some of these things are insane. But boom! I mean, it literally rattle your freaking teeth. They're so done. You can just feel that in your body and everything. So absolutely, these things are just cool. It wouldn't surprise me, the new technology they're coming out with and all of this stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if it's our technology and they're just testing more and more of it. And keep in mind, these things are probably way up in the air. You can't even see it, but yet you can feel it on the ground with that sonic boom. American Rebel. Well, good to see you there, man. I appreciate you stopping by. I have to go. You're awesome, Chris. Thank you. Well, thank you for stopping by, and thanks for commenting on the videos when we make them. So I appreciate you. James Craig, come on, guys, smash and share them buttons. That thing just jumped up on me again. Boom. And share the buttons. Bang, bang, bang. Hit the like buttons. Absolutely. Much appreciated. Yeah, photography, light, and magic. I wish aliens would come and rescue us from ourselves. Well, again, I think they're giving us guidelines. Hey, guys, watch what you do. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't bring this crap out into space, so on and so forth. Absolutely. I think they are in a way, but they're not making it too obvious. So, yeah. More pie. Piat, you put on there, Chris is absolutely the best I've come across. Well, I don't know about the best, but like I said, I do my own thing. A lot of other channels do their own thing, and they're very good at what they do. And some people will say, no, I prefer this channel more. You should. Whatever you like, go for it. I don't have any problem with that. I just do my thing, and I love pulling this stuff out of photos because it helps me, and I get to see more and more of this cool stuff I can bring out. And then, of course, I just, relate it to you guys, and then, of course, you guys get to see it too, right? New York 13, what state do you live in, Chris? I live in West Virginia, over here in the tri-state area. Ohio, Kentucky, and West Virginia. Cosmic Night aviation technology hasn't advanced much at all with the times compared to other things. I don't know. I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff that I mean, pretty soon they're literally just gonna wear a helmet, man. It's gonna just and they're just gonna think it and the craft is gonna do it. I mean, they're that much advanced in these crafts that it's crazy some of the stuff they're coming up with. And then of course there's things because if you ever watch some of these videos, it's cool the way they do it because they go, okay, this is the guidance system, and then this is well, we're not able to talk about this particular thing. Yeah, so think about that. There's things on these jets they will not tell, and for good reason, right? Because they don't want these other countries to know about it. So it makes absolute sense. Um, but yeah, it's just cool. I think some of these stuff that's really coming out is um, cutting edge to say the least. But you're right. There's a lot of other things that have been really accelerated big time. X-15 you put on there. If you ever met any ET that needs to eat shit eat shit and sleep to stay alive, then guess what? It's not a god to behold. It's plain and simple. Well, again, to me, it's just like, yeah, they're just absolutely just like us, right? They're no different. And I think that's what they, even back in the ancient times, if these things actually did land in front of them, of course, they're going to bow down to them because they have the gift of flight, which these ancients couldn't understand. So right off the bat, they're superior. They're our gods. So it makes sense for these people to do that, right? Now, New York 13. I see what you said. We'll hack them. No, 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 no. Don't be doing stuff like that now. And like I said, he's doing his own thing. He's got his own reasons. Just yeah, I wouldn't bother with him. We're just better than that. We don't need to get into all that. Like I said, I still like his work. It doesn't change the way I feel about his work. I think he's doing decent work there and showing some cool stuff. That's the way I've always felt. It's just a shame that just things the way they went down. That's all. The only thing I had a problem with, and I don't know if it was, I can't even say it was even from the other channel, but I had one guy say, you're copying Bruce's work. I was like, yeah, because clearly you can see I got a telescope outside and I'm doing that. I mean, I'm like, what? So, I'm just like, that's what I wanted to tell him. It's like, yeah, yeah, because you can see my telescope out here, right? I'm doing it. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I wouldn't pay him no mind, guys. Just go about your business. Don't worry about him. He's got his reasons. And like I said, I would be kind of like him in a sense. I wouldn't know who to trust and who not. But like I said, at some point, you think you would go, okay, clearly he hasn't done anything bad to me. I haven't done anything, he hasn't done anything to my channel. He hasn't done it. So you should trust the person at least a little bit. And I'm not saying you should go, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm going to have him over for tea and everything else. But you still should have a little bit more trust in that. And at least for me, I wouldn't overreact. I wouldn't never done that. That's just me. But everybody's different, right? Oh, yeah, you're right, Cosmic Knight. I'm sorry. I meant that we still rely on aerodynamics and lift to defy gravity. Yeah, you're right about that. James Craig, you said, Chris, can I ask you, do you have any special video as in favorite that you'd think about where I could give the presentation to the president? How about the one I just did? I mean, just look that stuff over right there alone. Just boom. I want a scientist or somebody that's, well, I don't know if there'd be anybody above NASA because if they're linked to the military, chances are you won't find anybody higher. But how about just a regular science or geologist look at this stuff and go, do you think that's a rock? I mean, seriously, come on now. Now, someone will say, well, it's not 100% clear, which they're not. They're usually low res. And I think they're high res, but they give us the low res. They downgrade the photo and then give it to us. But I would love to hear them just say, what the hell is that? Clearly, that's not, you know, and I'm talking about, really professional geologists or something like that. Just actually look at this and go, what? Doesn't make any sense, right? Yep, Solar Warden. You're right about that. War crime. You put in there. You still doing pictures? People send in for requests. I try to do them if I can. Now, sometimes like on my like if you send it to my email, I'll look it over. And like I said, I don't always get to them right away because I got so many comments on here. I'm making the videos. I'm working. I'm doing all. So it's a little hard for me to get to it. So, but I do tell people just send it to my email and I'll check it out. And a lot of times people just say, "What do you think about this?" In other words, they say they're not saying, "Hey, can you do a video on it?" They're just saying, "Can you, what do you think about this particular thing?" And I give my honest opinion. If there's not enough detail in there or whatever to, make heads or tails of it, I'll tell them so. If not, then I just say, "Well, that's a great find. I think you did great on this, and yeah, I might even kick a video there for you." So, you know, Chris, when you coming to Florida, I want to get together for real. I would love to shoot the shit over at lunch. My treat. I appreciate the offer, Mike. Um, I'm actually going to be heading down another week or so, but I'm going to be there with my daughter and stuff like that. So I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff. Um, I'll tell you what, if I'm not busy, I'll definitely hit you up. I don't know what part you live in, but we can definitely get together and chill. Martin Bermudez. Hey, Chris, what kind and model of telescope do you have? Mine is like a 4.5-inch telescope. It's not very big at all. And I don't even remember the name of it, to be honest with you. I haven't used it in so long. I probably have to go blow the dust off it to even find it. But I've got it in the other room, just stored away. But I need to take it out because I'll tell you what, there's crazy moon stuff that's been happening lately. I don't mean stuff going on with it, but I mean the fact that it's been cloudy a lot, and now it's been getting clear at night, so it's like awesome. So we had a time where, man, I swear to God, we had rain after rain after rain. I know you guys have too, because you guys have commented and saying that. I'm just like, man, we just have so much of this darn crap that you can't see the stars, you can't see anything. But lately, it's been getting pretty decent, so might start taking that thing out. Shemay, Chris, what's going on there, Taff? Good to see you in there, brother. The annual running rampage 25. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not, I'm stealing his subscribers. Really? Yeah, because you know what? I'm literally going to your houses. I'm putting handcuffs on you guys and I'm dragging you away. Does that even make sense at all? And in fact, I even told my subs, you guys go check out his channel, go do this, go do that. So doesn't that work both ways? Doesn't that work both ways? Think about that a minute. Because if I'm stealing his subs, as he puts it, I'm stealing them. Oh, well, I'm literally giving him my subs. I literally told you guys go check out his channel, sub to him, and everything else. I swear I said that in the past. So again, it doesn't make any sense. It does makes no sense whatsoever. Let's see. I have a DS 9000 Mead. It's pretty cool. That thing's pretty large, isn't it, Mike? How big is that one? Yeah, that would be cool. Infinity forever and beyond. One day soon, we will be able to access our own pictures of the moon. Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. That would be pretty cool. Mort, you said in Ohio we're flooded. Yeah, we've been getting quite a bit of rain here, and it's just crazy. The amount of rain we've been getting, people getting flooded out, all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, okay. So yours is 9, Mike. That's good size. Yeah, I bet you get some pretty good pictures of that. Um, I did. Yeah, Tada. You thought about streaming on Twitch as well? I would support you and grow your community and expand. You thought about it? I've thought about it actually. I'm trying like different avenues. Like I've been, like I said, I've got the Flickr up there so I can leave you guys pictures and stuff like that, which reminds me, this one I just did. Those pictures should be up there tomorrow. You guys can check them out. I just haven't had a chance. I literally just got back in the house when I was like, oh my God, I got like 15 minutes before I got to do this live feed. So I was like, got to rock and roll. So yeah. So I'm trying my best to, try different avenues and get more of this out just in case YouTube somehow goes stupid or something like that and totally fails. I got backup plans for that. So I'm not worried about it. One way or the other, the information will get out to you guys. Yeah, you're right about that, Mo. It got over 2 inches of rain these last couple of days. Yeah, a lot of times you guys get hammered over there too because a lot of the stuff is going northeast and somehow it'll go to the south or north of me. And I don't get a lot of the stuff. And then some of the counties next to me alone oh my God, they get their butts handed to them. It's crazy. That would be pretty sweet, Kenneth. Yeah, we need to get a Mars Anomalies and Beyond rover up there. That would be pretty sweet. I'll tell you what, if I was a multimillionaire, I would talk to people that made these crafts and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be anything big. Think about it. Just need to have a rocket to go get up there. You don't need but something small, like these little CubeSats, just enough to go around the planet. Go in very slowly till it crashes, but take photos, and then boom, done. Yeah, we've had that too, James Powers. You said I live in Virginia, and today it rained and lightning was all around me. Well, it's like me. I'll walk around and get on the bike and then cruise around and stuff like that. Man, it was lightning everywhere. I said, it's a question of time. I'm going to get rained on, but it was more heat lightning more than anything because, yeah, I mean, I didn't get rained on, which is cool, you know. Mike, you said I'm in Naples. Skunkworks knows some shit. We will hear on their deathbeds. Hopefully, yeah. I mean, see, that's the thing. That's what's crazy. You got all these older people, these older gentlemen or women, that are literally on their deathbed saying, "This is what happened," and it's sad that they can do that because they can only do it on their deathbeds as opposed to just coming out and saying it. Why? Think about it. People go, "Well, they don't have any, gag orders on that." Well, then why do they wait until they're dead or just about dead? There's a reason for it because they're getting deep doo doo, if you know what I mean. Bugs Bunny, gotta go, Chris. Thanks again for all the videos you have done. Best wishes from Edmonton, Alberta. Well, I appreciate you stopping by there, Bugs Bunny. Good to have you in there and any kind of questions and stuff, which is cool. I think you was like 2 or 3 times you actually commented or asked a question. So I appreciate you coming in. You have yourself a good night, right? All right, guys, it is 9:05. We're gonna have to jump on out of here. Yeah, I hear you guys. Yeah, smash that like button. I'm gonna have to jump out of here. Again, I got a video coming up tomorrow, and it's a short one about Titan. So check that out. And like I said, it's like 6.5, maybe 7 minutes tops. Just to add, because when you guys stated that, oh, why? Wait a minute, we got some. You missed this, you missed that. You're right, I did. See, that's what I'm saying. It's good to have you guys in. It's a learning curve. So yeah, I did that real quick for you guys, and I also have another moon and some more Mars coming up. I'm going to try to knock those out because I am going to be going on vacation soon. I just want to have a couple of them up before I go, and then maybe it'll hold you guys over a little bit. So hope you guys understand that I will be away for a little bit. So I'm not gonna let the Men in Black get me. I promise. Now, New York 13, behave yourself. Don't do that. That's not showing us we're any better. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just let it be, let it lie. No point in it. Anyway, guys, thank you for showing up. Thanks for being there. Always like interacting with you guys. Any way you can support the channel, please do so. It helps greatly. Helps me improve my stuff here as well. So, nothing but love for you guys. You guys know that. Chris, Jamie Judge, you put on there. I'll just read a couple of these before I go. Have a great night, Chris. Check out that channel if you get an opportunity. All my love to you, my friend. Well, I appreciate it there, Jamie. I will do. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, just I wouldn't mess with Bruce. Just leave him be. He's got his reasons for doing what he did. That's pretty much it. Um, that's the way I look at it. I don't will any ill things towards him or anything like that. He's got his reasons for doing what he did, and that's pretty much it. So that's the end of that, guys. Again, thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate you guys. You guys know that. So we'll see you guys in the next video. And like I said, next week probably won't be a hangout because I will be away. And if something does change, then I'll come back and we'll definitely have it, right? I'll let you guys know in one of the videos. Anyway, guys, have yourself a good night. Good week coming up. Peace.